everybody, Pastor Rick here. I am at the Saddles in Whitehall, New York, and today I'm going to be starting a loop hike. It's 8.9 miles, and there's nobody here in the parking lot. Unlike most trails, this one does not have a sign-in box, and the trailhead is barely marked. There's no information kiosk or anything like that. It's just a little sign, which you'll see, that says trail starts here, and that's it. And so it was a little rough coming up the road. I actually had to throw it in four-wheel drive for a minute. You might be able to do it with a front-wheel drive car. Definitely in the winter or spring, you're probably going to need four-wheel drive to get up in here, or else you're going to have to hike the 0.7 miles to get up in. But let's get started, and we'll talk along the way. All right. So right off the bat, we're getting some elevation gain, and it's gonna be a warm day, to say the least. It's supposed to be up to 90 today with moderate to high humidity, so I'm packing extra water. I did cut my base weight down about 2.5 pounds. I'm like at 23.5 or something, and but I'm carrying 7.5 pounds of water, and my total pack weight is like about 2 or 3 pounds less than before. I was like at 38.7, and I'm down to 36. So a little less, but I'll work on that some more. When I do cranberry like 50, it's going to be up there because of the food. But I am hauling extra water because I'm not sure how the water sources will be. And I want to make sure that I have good water source. But I'm only doing 4 to 5 miles today, so I'm going to take my time. This is rated a difficult or hard hike because of the steep terrain. So we'll just, like I said, we'll take our time and work our way up and hopefully get some good views. So the last person who, you can't really tell how long it's been since anyone's been on this trail because there's no sign-in box. But as far as AllTrails goes, It's been like 3 weeks since the last person has hiked here. But as of right now, there's nobody here today. So we'll just, we'll probably not run into anybody today. Hopefully not Bigfoot or gnomes. All right, well, I just stopped and had some water, and I'm getting close to a pretty steep ascent, I believe. So that'll be fun. All that weight I gained in Maine is about to go away, I think. Good thing, but I want to do it safely, so hopefully I can find a good water source up here so I can drink lots of water now and replenish for my cooking and stuff. And I'll talk about my food choices later for this trip. But my plan is to, like I said, go halfway, set up camp, have lunch, and relax, and then have dinner, and then call it a night, and go from there. Well, I'm almost to the summit area, and starting to see some views through the trees. It's still not really a view, but I'm starting to see them. But there is just a glorious breeze coming through right now. It does not feel like 82 and humid sitting on this rock. It feels just wonderful. And so since I'm not in a huge hurry, it's like only 10:45 or something in the morning. And last night, 11:32 p.m. was the summer solstice. I have a nice long bit of daylight, provided that we don't get clouds and storms moving in. There is like a 38% chance of rain and possible thunderstorms during the day. That increases to like 54% tonight, so I will deploy my tarp right off the get-go. And but right now I'm just enjoying this, just sitting here on this rock and letting this breeze bathe over me. It's just wonderful, and we'll get to the summit shortly. I am coming up on the loop now, the intersection from the out and back to the loop, at which point we'll start going clockwise. But first, I think I have a major ascent ahead of me. This is, oh boy. I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but this is a rock scramble, and it's going up there a bit. So here we go. It's slow going, folks. That's what I just came out. It's funny, my watch is telling me that my heart's going crazy. Yeah, no kidding. That's quite a climb. Wow. Well, let's get up this thing. I'll put the camera away so I can get safely up, and I'll meet you at the top. All right, so we made it to the intersection. So this is where the loop is. And we're gonna be going right towards Spiral Stone Stairway. Interesting that they used styrofoam plates to mark these. Hopefully eventually they're gonna put the actual wood signs, but maybe because the state's budget is shot right now. But environmentally, styrofoam's not the best and it does rip. But anyway, we're gonna be headed on this red trail on the loop and toward the Spiral Stone Stairway, I think it's called, yep. And we'll hopefully find a water source. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through my jug of water there, and we'll go from there. But I'd like to refill my water, keep replenished so I can drink plenty today, and find a nice spot to camp. I gotta be careful with the wind and the possible storms to find a really good site, hardwood trees hopefully, and nothing overhead that's gonna fall down on me. So I'll take some time to do that, but let's get hiking, and we'll go from there. So one thing that helped me was back when I took that one break, I adjusted the suspension on my pack. This pack has hold on. So nobody's been on this trail for a little while. I almost walked right into that. Yikes. I'm not a fan of spiders. He's not a big one, but no thanks. Anyways, I started to say, before I almost walked into that huge spider, was I adjusted the suspension on my pack because this pack has a adjustable suspension, and I was able to transfer more weight to my hips, which has helped my shoulders some during that. But anyway, we're gonna keep on trucking, hopefully avoid any more spiders. In case anybody was wondering why it was called the Stone Spiral Stairs, this will be why. Pretty cool. Must have taken some work. And interesting white blaze. This is not the Appalachian Trail. I kind of wish, but I don't know if that'll ever happen for me. I don't know if I could leave on it that long. It's also marked with red blazes, or red trail markers, so we know we're not on the Appalachian Trail. Plus we're nowhere near the Appalachian Trail. 2.5 miles in, and this tree has been decimated by these gypsy moth caterpillars. I mean, it's just, it looks like a gypsy moth Christmas tree. It's awful. It's just been decimated. I have them in my oak tree out in front of my house, unfortunately. And I was out the other night after dark. I went down to get my mail. And it sounded like it was raining. Well, it wasn't raining. I think it was those gypsy moth caterpillars eating the leaves on the oak tree. But pretty sad. I guess they're quite a problem this year. So I'll report this spot along with my own tree when I get home. Definitely don't want to go down there. It's a long way down. And here we go. So I'm gonna sit here and enjoy the view and have a snack, a couple bars, Atkins bars, finish up that Nalgene bottle of water. That'll give me 1 liter so far, and that'll leave me 2 liters for cooking and water if I don't run into a water source that's decent. I did find like some water that I would only filter if it was an emergency. But there's supposed to be some streams and waterfalls somewhere along here, so I'm hoping I run into that before I get to camp so I can refill. Alright, well, break is over. It's about 12:30. I'm going to be headed probably another mile and a half or so. We'll put it at 4. So somewhere between 4 and 5 miles, we'll start looking for a campsite. There are no, as far as I know, there are no quote-unquote designated campsites, so there will be no fire today, and I'll have to be 150 feet off the trail and away from any water source, which right now I haven't found a water source, really, so that's not going to be a problem. kind of a sort of a stream there. Not very good. We'll see if we find better. Hopefully. All right, so we're at an intersection. On the one-way Devil's Den, that's the way I'm heading, is 1.5 miles. I will probably camp before that. We just came from Whitehall Overlook, and then South Bay Vista is 0.1 miles. So I'll probably hike over there just to take a peek. It's 89 degrees. I just drank about 3/4 of another liter of water, so next even remotely decent water source I'm gonna have to filter and replenish because it's just so hot and humid. I'm gonna need that water just to stay hydrated. So we'll do that, but we're gonna be in a good canopy as far as camping, so the temperature will stay down some. The sun won't be beating right on us, but yeah, we'll go check out this vista real quick and then head back and find our campsite for the day. Alright, I'm back. Nobody took my pack, so I guess I gotta carry it. And I'm down 2 liters of water now, so I really need to find a stream. If worse comes to worse, I can leave my stuff after I get camp done and carry my filtration system and empties up to that stream, back up to that stream, and get it there. But I think I crossed that same stream again somewhere, so hopefully there's enough water to get water out of it, because I need it. So we'll see. All right, well, we got some dark looking clouds moving in, and I am at about the halfway point. I'm at 4 miles. There's no campsite here, so I'm gonna have to push down a little bit farther. First good place I find, I'm gonna claim as a campsite, and then I'll go search for water after that, because I'll be able to leave my pack and stuff. I may have to hunker down a little bit if a storm hits, but yeah, so for right now, my priority is to find a safe place to set up my camp, and once I have that, we'll go from there with the next priority, which is water. Oh, that was something. Glad I was coming down, although I am going to have to go back up tomorrow a different way, but I am going to have to regain that elevation. Well, the Lord did provide. I have 3 liters of water again, and I've got a stream that's running. I'm able to get water out of it. it's not running great. There's a little waterfall up there farther, but it's kind of cool. But it was enough to get water and filter it with my Sawyer squeeze. And so now I'm gonna find a place in here to camp, somewhere in here. And it's gotta be 150 feet away from the stream and the trail. The trail's right over there. So I'm gonna go back to my pack. I'm gonna scout out a place to hang my hammock. It looks like I might be getting a storm here pretty soon, so I better get busy. So I will see you after I get set up. Alright, so I got my camp set up. The trail is back down that way, and the stream is probably 100 yards that way, so I can go back and get more water tomorrow. But here's my problem. I apparently did not pack my titanium long-handled spoon, which means that it'll make it impossible to eat any of the dehydrated meals I brought. So it's going to be Pop-Tarts for supper and Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Fortunately, I brought 2 packs, and then I will have coffee in the morning, and yeah, I'll eat lunch when I get home. But well, lesson learned. Make sure you got your spoon next time. I think I left it in my pouch cozy because it's not my pack. But anyway, I've got plenty of water. I can go get more if I need it. It's just a quick little trip over there. And so I'm gonna wind down, relax a little, take a break, and I'll have some Pop-Tarts in a little bit, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I am chilling in my hammock. It's 4:30. It's getting dark. It's starting to thunder. I have done 5.2 miles, so about 4 left, maybe a little less. It is mostly uphill, at least at the beginning. And so at this point, I'm gonna just chill and relax. I'm quite warm. I probably won't even need my sleeping bag, which is a Marmot's 40-degree synthetic, which I use like a quilt. I just zip it down to the foot box so I can tuck my feet in and then use it like a blanket. And I have the 40-degree underquilt, and I'll tell you right now, it is warm in here. There is a breeze coming under the canopy a little bit, under my tarp I mean. So I am feeling that. So, but I have plenty of water. So I'm just gonna drink water and relax and listen to the thunder, and maybe it'll rain, and we'll go from there. Tomorrow I'll go get more water so that I have plenty for the trip out. And yeah, so it's been a productive day. I think I've burned a ton of calories, and I've learned from my mistake of verifying everything I need. But yeah, I had enough stuff. I have 2 more bars if I need them. So I have enough calories to get me through, tonight and tomorrow. I did hang my food already, so I'm not gonna go get that tonight. I'll just drink water for the rest of the night. And then, tomorrow I'll have those Pop-Tarts and coffee. And then if for some reason I get hungry between the time I pack up and leave and get home for lunch, then I will eat those last couple bars. But I don't see that happening. Anyway. Oh, that air is much cooler coming in. It's a good test for my tarp, but holy cow, is this intense. There's a lot of gusts of wind and big sheets of rain. Some good thunder. Flash of the lightning every once in a while. Pretty wild. Let's just hope this thing holds out. Otherwise, I'm going to be wet and miserable. And just like that, the lights are back on. That was quite the storm. My tarp held out quite well. A lot of leaves and stuff on it, but I'm not wet, at least not yet. My underquilt's a little damp. Probably from the sideways rain, but that was interesting. So well, it's only like 5:30, so I still have like 3 more hours till dark. But what else can I tell you? Oh, I didn't use DEET today at all. I didn't wear bug spray. Just the permethrin on my clothes. The black flies and mosquitoes were not bad at all. A few flies buzzed me a few times, but not bad. The biggest thing I got right now are those stupid tank caterpillars trying to get on my bug net in my hammock, and I keep flicking them off. So at some point I'll have to do it in the morning. Anyway, that was interesting. Quite the storm. Well, good morning, everybody. That was quite a wild night. I survived, obviously, but about 8 o'clock, I started to feel something like it was just like this. Every once in a while, this cold. I wasn't even sure if it was wet, but this cold thing on my back, and it turned out that I had forgotten to install drip lines on my straps. So after they got saturated with water, it started following the path of least resistance down toward the hammock, and it was getting in. So I had to get out in the rain and install drip lines and then get back in, and that worked for a little while, but after a while that also it still occasionally was happening. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And then my underquilt got a little wet as well. So but I'm gonna get up. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but that stream is raging now, so shouldn't have any problem getting water for the rest of the hike out. Anyway, I'm gonna get dressed, have breakfast, pack up, and we're gonna get back on the road and get out of here. All right, here's to a good morning. This is the same stream that I got water in yesterday. What a difference a ton of rain can make, huh? All right, so we're packed up, we're ready to go. It's about 7:45. It's 63 degrees, so much cooler right now. I don't have that far to go, 3.5, maybe 4 miles. And we got to go through Devil's Den, but then we have a pretty steep ascent. And then after that, it's just some up and downs, flat and downhill. So let's get hiking. All right, well, now I gotta get across this. So I'm gonna put the camera away and see you on the other side. Well, Devil's Den is down that trail right there. I'm not going down. I'm headed Diameter and South Bay Overlooks, which is 1 and 2 miles, I believe. So 1 mile to the overlook, which means I'm going to be climbing real soon. And Diameter would be 2 miles, which would get me back to the loop and heading back out. So less than 3 miles till I'm done. Well, that is weird. My phone just started playing a podcast by itself, and when I went to look, about 4 or 5 apps had opened up, and it put itself in do not disturb mode. I guess the devil's upset because I didn't come visit him. But we're trudging on. I need to get the cell service so I can tell Anna I'm okay, and that's should be as soon as I get up on top of this hill again, which should be coming up before too long. So here we go. Huh. It's a road. Wonder where this goes. No idea. Well, anyway, on we go. As you can imagine, this is tricky with it being all wet. It's granite and moss. We gotta go up there. Well, it's sprinkling a little bit, but I'm not putting my rain gear on or putting a pack cover on. I have the pack liner for the stuff that's still dry. Everything's wet anyway, including the pack. And I'm drenched in sweat, so frankly, I'm not putting that raincoat on and turning this into a sauna. Yeah, we're getting there. This is a tough mile because it's all uphill for the most part. And right now we're walking along a ledge. So we're gonna just keep on trucking here and get to this overlook, and then that'll leave us maybe a mile, less than a mile, to get to the intersection again and start heading back toward the truck. Oh boy. All right, and we are back here. We're headed down the blue trail back to the truck. Hey everybody, it's Pastor Rick here. Well, Unfortunately, that last shot you saw was the last shot that my camera took, because shortly after that, as I was walking along, I started to hear something going on in my back pocket where I carry my phone. And the phone had locked itself out. So these strange things continue to happen, and it could be just that there was some moisture in the phone. I don't have a life-proof case or anything like that. Um, but it was trying to dial out the emergency number. So it had gone past the pin enough times to lock itself out, and then it was trying to dial an emergency number. And so when I backed out all the digits to try to get back to where I could do anything with the phone, the last three digits, or the first three digits that it dialed, was 666, and it stayed there, and I couldn't go past that. And so I ended up having to turn the phone off, because no matter what I did to try to get back into the phone, it kept locking me out. Even when I tried to put in the correct pin. I don't know if my phone was possessed, or if I butt dialed the Antichrist or what, but it was some crazy stuff. Another thing that happened is when I was starting to climb up some of those slippery ledges, some moss came out from under, came off the rock, and of course my foot went with it. I ended up falling. I did catch myself, but I ended up scraping my left shin pretty good. So I did not come out of this completely unscathed. But other than that, I did make it back to the truck. I was pretty soaked. My pants were soaked. My shoes were soaked. I ended up with, it seemed like every 10 or 15 minutes flicking those caterpillars off my pants. They were just everywhere. But I made it back to the truck. Of course, it had been so hot on Monday that my rear view mirror had fallen off. The glue had come undone, so I'm gonna have to reattach my rear view mirror. But of course, I lost AllTrails when I lost the phone, so the mapping never completed. So I'm not really able to share that. But if you go on AllTrails, you can find that hike. Somebody has put in that loop hike. And I did it the way they did it, or the exception of I didn't go down to Devil's Den, but we're going to say 8.6 miles total for that hike. And it does definitely rate hard. There are some difficult parts, and it's twice as hard when it's wet and rainy and slippery. So anyway, my next hike planned as far as overnight is with my boys, Alex and Zachary, and we are headed back up toward the Putnam Pond area. There's two ponds up there that we're gonna do, Grizzle Ocean Pond and Rock Pond, and it's a total of about the same, about 8.5 to 9 miles. We're gonna do half the first night, or maybe a little more than half. We're going to find a place to camp on Rock Pond, and then we'll come out, and that's going to be in the second week of July or so, depending on weather and schedules and things. But that's my next hike planned. And then in the future, I have Tongue Mountain Range planned, which is about 14.6 miles or 16.4. I keep getting those backwards. I can't remember. And then in September, I'm planning on doing Cranberry Lake 50. So that'll actually be a multi-day, 4-day, 3-night hike, 50 miles or just slightly over 50 miles. That's what's in the future for camping hikes. And then I do have a day hike planned as well, just up to Hadley Mountain, to the fire tower. And I'm probably going to take a group of people with me there. So if you're interested, let me know. That'll be sometime in July as well. And I guess that's about it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit like on the video on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. And you'll get to continue to go on these adventures with me. And so have a great day. God bless. And, you know, start hiking, folks. It's fun.